Hello and welcome back to Mars. We've got a crazy video to talk about because in terms of Storm Collectibles and Storm Arena, unfortunately, they were not at the Wonder Festival. We've been covering the Wonder Festival for a few videos now, and in years past, Storm Collectibles, they have been at Wonder Fest with a big booth on display and things like that, like their own individual booth, okay? We've shown you last year's, and then they were also there for 2023. For whatever reason, this year, they did not appear to have their own big booth dedicated to Storm Collectibles and Storm Arena products. So I do apologize in yesterday's video for building that hype leading into the event last night, for it pretty much not to come to fruition and for it not to happen. However, there is some great news and there is light at the end of the tunnel in regards to Storm Collectibles and Storm Arena. The one thing I do want to point out is that this means we are guaranteed to have a bigger display for this year's New York Comic Con. Image Anime did come out yesterday, almost a whole day, and confirmed that they are proud to announce Storm Collectibles will be appearing at the New York Comic Con 2025. We will have items for sale at the booth and new items on display. We did not get that at the Shanghai Festival, which is the Wonder Festival, which is absolutely crazy, okay? We stayed up late last night, ready to drop any new news or announcements. We were even prepared to go live last night, so it was a bit of a disappointment. However, seeing this actually makes me relieved because as someone who will be present at this year's New York Comic Con, the worst case scenario for me, for us here at M.A.R.S, was for Storm Collectibles to announce a lot of reveals, show off a lot of reveals at Shanghai, only to also be on display at the New York Comic Con. So it's like today we could have been covering that information, those reveals and things like that, and then whenever we go to the New York Comic Con, the only thing we really had to look forward to was, yes, buying the exclusives, doing the booth tours, and then obviously the potential interview with a Storm rep. And those are things, great things to look forward to without the reveals and all of that. But now, we are going to be having those reveals seen for the first time, so you'll get my raw reaction in person and just see how I really take it in. And that's really what I wanted from the get-go. So for me, this is actually the best case scenario. I do apologize again because it could have been misleading. I did provide the evidence and everything seemed to have lined up perfectly, but I just missed one small detail, and we'll go and check that out for you right now. So the small detail that I did miss is that in the caption for the exclusives, it says these products will be selling at the BBICN booth. So for me, probably that should have been the indicator there. And plus, we didn't have a floor plan to look at. Well, we now do have a floor plan. It is coming in vertically, so I do apologize if you can't see it. We will be talking about 52 Toys because we've got some crazy announcement from 52 Toys. So make sure you stick around because they've got some killer shit they're revealing, guys. Like, this may be someone else to look forward to here on the channel. 52 Toys Street Fighter. We're going to look into that. But as I was mentioning, so in 3, booth A22 is where Storm was going to be. And it's a lot bigger, obviously. And I was saying how, yeah, like, you know, 3-0 is going to be right beside 3-0. It kind of is. It's in the same area. Now, BBIC is this little guy right here. And you probably can't even see that, but it's like a little man in like a helmet. It's like a military man in a helmet. And that's pretty much all. That's it. As far as Storm's appearance, that is it. And totally I misread that completely. And then we'll bring up here in a moment the floor plan for last year so you can see that. And you can see like Storm had its own dedicated section. So that was a confusion on my end. I do apologize. But thank you all for tuning in yesterday and showing your support, commenting, things like that. But now we're going to focus on something different. We're going to be covering it. We're going to be covering the Wonder Festival, but for 52 Toys. Yes, that's right. They've had shown off some crazy reveals. So first off, there's our Ryu again. So you're seeing that it is featuring soft goods, which is great. And then now you're seeing the Chun-Li, and there's your size comparison there for the Chun-Li with the Jada Toys, which looks pretty good. It's going to size in well together. But this is like the big highlight. This is like the big takeaway. We are getting Akuma from 52 Toys, Cammy, and look at this. We are getting Guy from Final Fight. I thought it was Street Fighter. I'm sorry. So Guy from Final Fight. We could potentially have a 6-inch Guy figure in our hands before we have the Alpha 3 Guy from Storm Arena. So we have to wait and see the development on 52 Toys. But overall, I gotta say, like, this company, 52 Toys, has now my attention. Okay, it now has my attention. It looks like we're getting like Prometheus figures too, like Predator figures. They're definitely like coming in out of nowhere. I think this is like a video game that just came out. What's it say? Blades of... I'm not sure exactly. And it's saying Q1 of 2026. I mean, that's right around the corner. Let's go back over to here. Okay, yeah, this, you really can't see. It is officially licensed from Capcom. Hey, 52 Toys, if you're doing Resident Evil, sign me the fuck up. I would love that. So, just a little update video. 52 Toys might be someone we look into. Comment below and let me know if that's something you want. I know you all have commented in the past about 52 Toys they had on display, like the Ryu and Ken, or Ryu and Chun-Li, very recently at one of the exhibitions that we had here recently. But yeah, unfortunately, nothing regarding Storm. Storm will be at this year's New York Comic-Con. They will be showing off some, new products and things like that, as verified from Image Anime. I do apologize again. And I guess really the writing was on the wall when I realized Mr. Lee wasn't really posting anything Storm related. All of the focus was on Kaido. And even the same for The Amazing. I mean, yeah, we've got different products here, but he was mainly focused on the Kaido stuff, and that dropped pretty much the day before, like preview night, right? The day before the actual event. Should have picked that up. Unfortunately, didn't, catch it in time. I was up 12 o'clock, like looking at potential live streams, like everything, trying to find Storm, and just, it wasn't there. So be looking out. Next week is the New York Comic-Con. We're a week away. We'll be there live. We're going to be asking our questions. I'm definitely going to ask Storm, what happened with Shanghai Festival? Like, where were you? Like, what was that about? Were you more focused on coming here versus there? Like, what happened? Should we have that interview? So be looking out for that. And I do apologize again. Thank you all for watching this video. 52 Toys. Looks like it's going to be something exciting to cover in the future. Until then, thank you all. We'll see you next time. Peace.